Hey y'all, welcome back. Today we are 28 March. It's been a long time since I last came online here because I've been very busy with my bachelor project. Don't watch my hair. I just came out of the bathtub and I dried a little bit. So it's almost 10 o'clock and at 10:30 I have a meeting about an anatomy presentation. So since last time, I don't know what the fuck was last time. So I'll be saying a few things that happened to me. So first of all, did I tell you about the time I had to go to a certain classroom where there were dead bodies because it was an anatomy class where we had to look at muscles and bones? Okay, so it was a Monday afternoon around 1:30. You had to eat a lot because otherwise you could faint. So we came into the room. I'm standing in the classroom, 1227 or something, yeah. And there's this professor. I know him, but I was like, huh, is this your classroom? So I was standing there in the income. He came to me. Are you biomedical? I said, no, I'm a biologist. That's okay too, girl. So I entered the classroom. I saw my girl, Xiao Shan. She is a Chinese PhD student who works about anatomy and AI and VR, how that can help in learning it. So she came with a QR code and she invited me to come over and help with her. But that's okay, I will come back to that later. So we are in the classroom, just some instructions. Then we go to the room. There are like some bags, big human-sized bags, and there's like these chairs. Everybody is sitting in these chairs. We get instruction, but then the assistant comes to us. He's starting his presentation. He says, "Oof! I have to put myself together. I'm having an overdose." I was like, "Overdose on what?" Maybe he was like kind of ill and took too much pills, but that's not something you say to students, but hey, it's okay, like I'm open-minded. So then the other assistant or the professor came and stepped in and took over presentation. So it was about that these people give their body to science. They can be here for 2 years because they're like very much treated with some chemicals, so they do not, like, how do they say this in English, decay or decompose as fast. And meanwhile, they were giving their presentation. There were other medical students opening these bags, displaying them, putting a towel on their face because you cannot see their face. You can see everything, the entire body, but not their eyes, not their face. The face is covered, so you don't know exactly who it is. Because if you know somebody who's laying there, you have to announce that, and then they will check if that's not the person who is laying in front of you. Which is good because my classmate, she knew somebody who was laying under my school, but luckily he was not in the room with us. Okay, so then everybody stands around the dead body, look at it. The smell, it was a smell, but the room was very well ventilated, so it was. You could stand there a long time. It was just weird to see because it was like not human anymore. It was like completely gray, shrinking. And then I was asking questions like, what happens with the pee in the poo? But it comes out naturally. And then they put like chemicals in their veins. The entire body is cleansed. So that was a nice experience. And then that's Wednesday in the same week. Wednesday I had my first introduction session for Brazil with the parents. It was quite nice, but most of the other parents were kind of old and like nerdy. And there was like, okay, after an entire thing about the money aspect, the financial aspect, a daddy comes forward and said, "Oh, wouldn't it be interesting if the students download this Revolut app so they can see the value of the coin over there?" Bitch, who gives a fuck about that? About the value of a coin when I'm in Brazil enjoying myself and nature. Like, he wanted to sound lettered, he wanted to sound educated, but girl, you were stupid because you clearly didn't listen to the instructions of professor. So okay, the day after we had a second session, and there was a session about the history because we're going to Salvador de Bahia in Brazil, and it was one of the first slave cities. As you know, I'm a huge I was going to say a huge fan of slavery, but I'm very interested in slavery and the entire history aspect because that city is a very multicultural one because the slaves came from everywhere. You have like a melange, like a combination of the Africans, but also the native populations. And in the city, you have like big farms for sugarcane, of course. And I want to see that because that was actually, it was a colony from Portugal. And at one point, it was even richer and it had more value than Portugal itself. So that was quite nice. And then we had like a third session this week. And it was about nature, and it was a Professor Mollard, one of my favorite professors, was the one who was doing the presentation. And he saw me in the middle and said, "Hi, I'm this person. I'm a biologist, and I can see that in our middle we have another biologist." And then he was pointing to me. Everybody's staring at me, of course, because they all study law or economics or informatics. So, yeah, and I'm just there. Hey, I like nature. So yeah, and then he was telling an anecdote about me catching a snake on one of our excursions with my bare hands, and then he said, "Oh, you cannot do that in Brazil because there are venomous snakes." So that was quite nice. So the entire presentation, he was like looking at me, and he was very happy. He said he was jealous because I'm going, and that was quite nice because. I look up to him, and if somebody that you look up to is praising you, that's good. I mean, it's not like a weird thing or something, you know. I'm just glad he's proud because then I know he succeeded. Then he knows he succeeded in something while being an educator. So okay, yes. And after the presentation, he said, "Oh, you have to take your goggles, like your spyglass, I don't know, with you to watch nature and everything." And then he said, "Oh, I expect a report from you." And I'm like, "Oh, girl, I'm sad." I was like, "Okay, every day you're getting an email from me, what we did, what fruit I'm going to eat, etc." Oh, but also in all these info sessions, they said, "Oh, do not take any money with you. We have the money. Do not take your ID with you. Take a copy with it." And I'm like, "Okay, but girl, I'm taking my camera with me. Okay, I'm going to buy a 128 gigabyte SD card for this thing. I'm gonna film the 14 days non-stop. Like, yeah, okay. If a boy or a girl from the favelas is trying to take my cam, girl, they know what this white puss will do to them, honey. I'm gonna beat your ass up in Portuguese, for real." So yeah, I'm taking my camera with me, even though they don't recommend it. I will. It's a very small thing. They can barely see it, and they're not not to say anything. They're not used to this type of technology, and if they are, they're educated and they would be like good people, you know. So yeah, that was quite interesting. So I'm very. Oh yeah, and I also met like a girl named Maiti. She is like doing psychology like shit at my school. She's quite nice, but oh yeah, I have an international passport because I went to London and then to New York. She's like very expressive, like always like doing like this with her hair and looking back, turning with her eyes. And then next to me you have like a boy, stray boy, who studied informatics, and he has the same name as me. So I was like, "Oh, with or without an E at the end?" Without. Then he said, "With a P?" I said, "Yeah." So it's basically also written the same. So okay, I can see like the group is already forming. We were 20 students, so it's gonna be nice. And then this week, okay, so we were in the lab yesterday, and we were working with our Daphnia, and then yeah, suddenly it was kind of busy in the room where we culture our algae, and then we were in a Daphnia breeding lab. So okay, suddenly knock on the door. It's Professor Möller, and he said, hey, hello, I'm here with a group of fifth years from PTE Kortrijk, that's school. And I was like, girl, I was in that damn school back in the day. And he said, oh, and then he opened the door. All these students came into our lab. Look, he was in your school too, because that's a great advertisement if somebody from your school so many years later is working there, you know? So then he said, okay, yeah, then he said my name. Yeah, tell us what you're doing here. But mind you, there were other students around me too, so he completely skipped them. That was kind of weird though, but it's okay, because the day before we already had like a long good conversation because it's the same professor, so we're bonding for real. So, okay, students came in here and was like, hey, we're working here with Daphnia for different freshwater ecosystems, agriculture, pesticides, virus, etc. And yeah, and then the teacher from the high school, oh yeah, I recognize him. It was Mevrouw Jacobs. I never had her, but she recognized me. But, I mean, I had my hair in like a ponytail, so okay, you can still see the face card. So that was quite nice that she recognized me. So yeah, I was very happy. And then after the lab, I came across that professor again, and then he started talking about his hobbies about 3D printing. And then I said to him, "Yeah, where's your lab actually?" Like, and it was actually the Algal Blue, the culture room where next to ours, but I never saw him there. But we're really bonding, and I like that, and I will write a report. Okay, I talked actually quite a lot already. Okay, almost 11 minutes. That's okay, girls. But okay, in half an hour I have this meeting, and then I have to let me get my schedule because everybody is always taking my stuff. Don't watch me. I'm half naked. Okay, yeah, I'm sorry, my camera was not tracking. Because I have plenty of stuff to do. We have to do neurobiology after our presentation, and then reading religion and tissue engineering. Maybe I'll do tissue engineering first. That goes fast, but there are like many videos that you have to watch. But I will do that in the Easter holiday videos. So I'm just going to focus on the theoretical part that's written down, and then before, like I have an exam around 4, 5, 6, 7 May. I like have an exam from that, so I already have to be busy with it. But those videos, if I can put them in 1.5 speed, then it's okay to do it. So I can do the videos, all the videos, and all the theoretical stuff in one day, so should be okay. Wait, and then neurobiology, that's a big one, maybe for the afternoon. And religion, first religion, reading religion, then first presentation, then tissue, then reading religion, and then neurobiology, because that takes a long time, and then I can take a break and walk with my dogs, and maybe with my bestie Xini, but I think she's with her boyfriend. I don't see her that often anymore, but that's always with having boyfriends, you know? And I haven't seen my oyster slut girls in a long time either, but they're going to Pilates this Saturday morning, but yeah, as you can see, I'm always busy because I have meetings and shit. So maybe if they're doing something tonight, I will see if I go. But also Zena has to work, so I don't know if they will meet. But that's okay. And then I went on excursion this week to Sven, a big nature park close to the Belgian coast. It's in Knokke-Hees, very pretty place though. It was a harsh excursion. It was not raining, luckily, but it was dark, it was clouded, and it was like kind of stormy outside, but I loved it because the landscape is rough, windy. There were no trees, but all bushes and grass plains that reminded me of the Great Plains in my Avatar game. So I was like really in my element. It reminded me of home, and it was quite nice. And then also, I had my boots on, and everybody was wearing shoes, but there was like a huge, there was water from the sea. So I was just straight going through through the water with my boots on because that didn't harm me. And then you had two other girls, Lily and Ocean, and they were doing it barefoot. That was quite like it looked very nice because like you could feel the earth, the cold and the sometimes warm water. So yeah, and they were actually pretty smart because they just also went straight to water. But the others, they have to like take their shoes off as well. So yeah, it was a nice excursion. I loved it. It was the last one though, which is sad, but we still have our 9-day excursion to La Brenne. And also for that course, I have to do something with writing an introduction, discussion, etc. about a species. I choose Hyla arborea, which is a tree frog, and a problem. I took habitat fragmentation, and then on practical thing with the nature park I visited. So the thing is that you have a certain population. It's a quite isolated one, so you need connectivity with other nature parks. For example, with the Dutch one, the Netherlands. And you have to make a lot of suitable habitats. Like, for example, you have to make more pools because that's the place where they procreate, and they're amphibians, so they need water, even though they have a pretty tree-like lifestyle. But and you have to maintain this connectivity and this flow of genes, otherwise you will have insects and you get into an extinction spiral. So it's all a bad thing. So genetic diversity is very important, as y'all know. So natural selection can work on it and do its thing. So yeah, but that's almost finished. I also have to submit an assignment for development biology. It's actually finished, but I just have to check for the second time and then submit it. And then I have to do like a model thing for religion, but I will do that in 2 hours instead of 10. I know how to do that. So yeah, but anyway, I'm going now. By the way, normally I like to end a video with singing a song, but since my 9-day disease week plus 2 days, I do not have my siren voice anymore, and I'm not going to give you all a bad performance, you know. So I can't sing until my siren voice is back. Every day I'm singing and I'm trying to get it back, but it affects me. Maybe it's just puberty hitting, even though I'm 20. Hey, look, sometimes people bloom later, you know. And my praying mantises are doing fine. Three of them already like went to a next stage in their life. And Diane, my Asian one, she in her next mold she will become a bride. She will get her wings, put her beautiful dress on, and I'm very excited for it. But hey, this video is already way too long. I know I promised less videos. I will post these videos, but it's probably gonna be in the Easter holiday that I'm gonna post like 3, 4, 5 videos because I've just been quite busy. So anyway, love you girls, love you sluts. I have to work my ass off today, and I hope y'all have an amazing time. Low-key jealous. Love y'all.